Hey there guys, Silver Sean here, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I've started getting into Pokemon trading card game online recently. Well, I say recently, a couple weeks ago really. And I thought I'd show you my own take on the Vespiquen deck that a lot of people seem to be using. So as you may know, the main strength of Vespiquen, this Pokemon here, is that for every Pokemon in your discard pile, it gains an extra 10 damage. So that means we have to get cards into the discard pile. Now we can't be getting our cards knocked out by our opponent because they're just going to take prize cards and they're going to win the game. So we have Klefki here. You're going to use the ability Wonderlock and do something called it's called a Klefki chain, where you lock a Klefki to another Klefki and then a Klefki to another Klefki to get those Klefkis into the discard pile. Okay, we also have Unown. Now, Unown's ability allows you to take it from the bench and put it straight into the discard pile, but it also lets you draw a card as well, so you're not left short-handed. And as for Pokemon, finally we have Yanma and Yanmega. Now, the reason I chose Yanmega was because of his free retreat cost and his ability Sonic Vision, which means if you have 4 cards in your hand, you don't have to use any energies to use his attack, Assault Boom. Now, I almost forgot about Staryu here. To be honest, he's just cannon fodder, something to throw into the discard pile. The reason I chose this Staryu over Staryus that have more HP is because of his free retreat cost, which means if we have a bad opening hand, I can put him into the opening position and retreat him without wasting any energies. Okay, next it's on to trainer cards. I'll just point out the highlights. Obviously you have Professor Sycamore and Lysandre, your versus Seekers. You're going to want a Forested Giant Plants so that you can evolve your Pokemon quickly. It's pretty useful if your opponent has a bad start in hand and you want to go for the knockout quickly. Next we have Ultra Ball. This is mainly just to discard your Pokemon, and obviously you can get other Pokemon out of it as well. So let's say you had a couple Staryus on your bench and you wanted an Unown to be able to draw another card, you could use Ultra Ball for that. Next we have Trainer Mail. This deck is very reliant on card flow. If you find yourself in a position where you don't have a Sycamore or an N and you don't have any Unowns, the Trainer's Mail can kind of save you. Okay, so we also have Acro Bike. This allows us to obviously get our Pokemon into the discard pile as well as get extra trainer cards out of our deck. We have Revive here. I like to use Revive to get my Unowns back out of the discard pile so I can put them back in and get an extra draw. It's mainly just there for draw support. I have a Revitalizer. I only have one of those at the moment. I do want a second one, but I simply don't have it at the moment. And finally, Special Charge. Now, we're going to need Special Charge because we only have 4 double energies in our deck. We don't have any other energies. That is it. So, if we lose all of our special energies and we run out of special charges, that's kind of game over for us. Okay, so that's my Vespiquen deck. Let's test it out in a couple games. Okay, I like to go second using this Vespiquen deck. It just allows me to get those early knockouts, especially if my opponent has a very, very bad draw. So, lucky for me, she chose to go first. So as you can see, I'm recovering my Unown. This is where I can play my Professor Sycamore and then re-discard him in order to have a better draw. Okay, so I'll use the Ultra Ball to get rid of the Vespiquen and the Yanmega. And while we're here, we can have a look at what's in my deck. So, one of my Klefkis is in my prize pool. What else? One of my Lysandres, one of my Ns, and it would appear one of my Professor Sycamores. So we'll get the Yanmega. We'll evolve our Yanma. And let's check our discard pile. So with this I can only do 100 damage so far because of obviously Blastoise's weakness, but that's alright, it's enough. And a very quick win, it would appear. I won there mainly because of draw. But never mind, I'm happy about that. I've had two very lucky opening hands here. I only have one Forest of Giant Plants in my deck, so to get it twice consecutively in 2 games, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so my opponent has a Trubbish, which means obviously he has a Gardevoir, probably has a Darkrai EX. I hope he doesn't use that in, because that's just going to mess me up straight away. But he will. There we go. And now we see regular Yveltal. I'm just waiting for his Yveltal break, or Yveltal EX. Okay, I don't really have anything to play here, so I'll just finish my turn. And there's Gardevoir locking out our Yanmega's ability. It also means I can't discard my Klefki either. Okay, that was weird. Never mind. It's a victory. There's another plain psychic dark type deck. Hopefully they stick around for a little bit longer than the last person. It's a fairly decent opening hand. I can play my N, get an extra draw with my Unown. I'll put double Colorless on Combee now just to make sure that I can utilise him when I evolve him. This is more of what I was expecting from the previous guy, the Vespiquen the Hooper. Okay, so here you're going to see what I mean about using the revives to get the unknowns back out of the discard pile to really maximise the draw frequency that you can get out of this deck. Okay, so we just played Klefki's ability Wonderlock. Now what that means is that next turn my opponent, well, if he had any Mega Pokemon he wouldn't be able to attack me with them. Well, it wouldn't cause any damage. But it also means that next turn Klefki will go into my discard pile, adding more power to my Vespiquen when I finally get him onto my bench. And that's another victory due to, well, bad draws on the opponent's behalf. I'll probably play one more game, try get something serious, try get a serious game. Otherwise, I'll have to revisit this deck another day. Okay, so that's water normal. Hopefully that is a Greninja deck. This deck doesn't do too bad against Greninja decks if the card flow is good. If it isn't good, then well, it's a Greninja deck, so I'm probably going to lose. Okay, let's have a quick look through his cards. So there's nothing telling here except for the water energy. Doesn't do me any favours working out what he has in his deck. Okay, so it appears not to be a Greninja deck. It looks like it's Blastoise deck. I'm not very happy about that N. My opening hand wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. I could have used it. I don't really want two Professor Sycamores, but I actually have to deal with it, I guess. Oh, and there goes the Spirit Link, so I'll have to use Klefki later in the game to try and neutralise that. And there I go, throwing away two Versus Seekers. Really not happy about that. Oh, I just made a big mistake. I wanted to retreat. That was a big mistake. See, this is why you take your time when you're playing, because you just mess up like that and then you lose. Okay, he doesn't have enough energies to play Hydro Bombard. So I'm going to assume that his turns should be finished. I mean, I don't have a Dive Ball. We've probably got more than one Blastoise-ex. Now, if his deck is EX heavy, or Mega EX heavy, I'm going to try and keep hold of those revives, because I have a feeling I'm going to want to reuse those Klefkis when I can. Okay, now I'm going to retreat my Unown. Not going to make the same mistake I made a moment ago. I'm going to bring in my Starmie. This will allow me to get a free retreat later when I need it. I'll use N, reshuffle his deck. I'm sure he picked something up a minute ago. Right, and there's my Special Charge. I wanted that in order to shuffle those two energies back into my deck. Let's see, what else should I do? I'll evolve my Combee now. Use Farewell Letter with Unown to increase my draws. See what else we have available to us. That's 3. what do we have? Play Trainers Mail, see what we got. Okay, I'll grab Sycamore and use him next turn. I'm also going to place that Vespiquen onto my... no, that Klefki onto my Vespiquen now, just to protect him from a Lysandre or something. I don't want to be left defenseless. Okay, so as you can see, utilising this Klefki's pretty well to lock out any mega attacks from his M Blastoise-ex. And finally, I'm going to use an Ultra Ball. Going to turn this Vespiquen into a one-hit like finisher. I mean, against a regular, like normal type or something like that, it wouldn't be a one-hit, but it's water type, so get the weakness advantage there. So that should do about 240 damage. There we go. One hit. Very happy with that. And yeah, he gave up, he had nothing left to do. So, didn't go as well as I planned. Had 3 people quit, and the last person did put up a, well, didn't really put up any sort of fight because I got my Vespiquen started quickly, but that was probably the best fight amongst the lot. If you like these videos, like them, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll be sure to make some more focusing on some other decks. I have a Delphox break deck here. It's not very good, I've only got 1 break, but you know, you can watch me get my ass kicked with that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. It's been Silver Sean, and keep an eye out for my videos. See you later.